friend? Or was that your fan?
That's my fan. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I better fight. Is that better?
Tiny bit.
Oh, you can still hear it.
If I can hear it, they're gonna hear it, right?
Can you hear that? We are actually going live now.
Oh shit.
Good evening. I think. Did I run the intro? I might have run the intro. You might just hear us talking about my fan. Well, good evening to another 14 words. And today we've got a smorgasbord. I do have the meaning of smorgasbord somewhere. It's a collection of hot and cold dishes eaten during annual celebrations such as Christmas, Easter, and Midsummer.
So, in other words, it's Swedish tapas.
Smorgasbord or smorgasbord, Swedish smorgasbord, sandwich table or buttered bread table is a buffet-style meal of Swedish origin.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah. There we go. It assumed its present form in the 19th century following old traditions.
Old traditions of, we're going to have leek on belly with our pickled herring.
What is it? Fucking freezer, like powering up to the next
In
level?
Northern Europe, the term varies between cold table and buffet. In Norway, it's called koldtbord or kaltbord. In Denmark, det koldbord, literally the cold table. In the Faroe Islands, kaltboro, which is cold table. In Germany, kaltbuffet. And in the Netherlands and Flanders, Hobbit's favourite country, it'd be kood buffet.
Flanders isn't a country; it's a region of Belgium.
Oh, how about Estonia? It's called Rootsy Loud.
I like that one better.
Which is Swedish table. Or
I mean, it'd be like saying, the country of Yorkshire. Yorkshire's not a fucking country. Neither is Flanders.
In English, the word smorgasbord refers loosely to any buffet with a variety of dishes, and we are going to provide you a variety of dishes today. On 14 words.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've already spoke about it. Have we spoke about the orang medan?
The what?
You what? Sorry.
Come again?
The ship with the gas leak. I thought it was.
Hemi's having a stroke.
Is he having a stroke again?
Yes.
Oh god. Remember, Hemi, like swallow your spit.
The orang medan.
Orang medan.
Yeah. Orang miduk.
Or Rob or Ross. I can't even spell those names right.
I'm pretty sure we've spoke about it before. You do remember the ship with the gas leak?
Hemi, I do believe when you were saying these foreign words.
I always have struggled with Greek names, Joe.
Where is it? The fucking orang medan.
Are we on about the Nord Stream pipeline? Because that's the only thing I know about. Or kind of know about.
Well, the orang medan is a ship. Where is it? It's in there somewhere. 32. Right. So, it appears you lot do not know about the orang medan.
No.
I'm just hearing about it now. What's it called again?
The orang medan, like orangutan, but without the atang. Medan.
The Midang of Orang.
Yeah. Orang medan.
Orang midug.
Yeah.
So, it's the SS Orang Medan. Was a reported ghost ship and proposed urban legend of the 1940s. The vessel was supposedly discovered adrift after briefly broadcasting distress messages. Ships that responded to the SOS reported to have discovered all the crew dead with their eyes open and their faces frozen in shock, as if they were witnessing a horrific scene. As the rescue crew subsequently prepared to tow the Orang Medan to port, a fire reportedly broke out in the hold, resulting in its eventual sinking, hiding it and its mysteries forever.
How convenient.
So, go on.
Well, we can rule out mermaids and sirens because they didn't jump off the boat.
Yeah.
They weren't wedged into the boat like the Philadelphia experiment, so it wasn't that.
You know, I just realised. So Speaking of, you know the story in the Odyssey where like he's like, oh, I want to listen to the siren song, so just tie me to the mast and I'll be right. You all put wax in your ears so you can't hear them.
They
And
didn't bother
me
doing
just
that in the Odyssey. In the Nolan.
well, in Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, he's tied to the mast and he hears the alluring siren song of Wet Ass Pussy. And he's hearing it, he's just like, I want to go to that house with the Olympic-sized swimming pool that's only 18 inches deep.
So the most
And
prominent,
have you ever seen them? Oh, I really shouldn't, but okay. Have you ever seen Beavis and Butthead reviewing Wet Ass Pussy?
No.
And they're doing it like they're, I'll use the American term here, real estate agent realtors. Beavis is just saying, now if you come through the kitchen and you see there's holes in here, but it's like, yes, there are holes in every room in this house.
The most prominent version of the story places the vessel in the Dutch East Indies, modern Indonesia. I never knew that was the Dutch East Indies.
Yeah, no, that was the Dutch East Indies, yeah.
And in the waters of the Straits of Malacca, while other versions of the tale...
Oh, you're Malacca.
Malacca.
Hang on.
You know what Malacca
Boom,
means
boom,
in
Malacca,
Greek,
Malacca,
don't
boom,
you?
boom.
We're talking about Malacca.
I always have struggled with Greek
Malacca.
names, George.
You think we'd get 2 uses out of it
Got
this
a new
today?
drop. While other versions of the tale place the vessel around the Marshall Islands or the Solomon Islands. The story was initially reported in Italy in 1940 and England in later that same year, before similar stories were repeated in North. So don't believe your lying eyes when you read about the Orang Medan. Later again in 1952, the inability of researchers to identify the vessel in any official records, along with the inconsistent reporting of the location and other details that change from version to version, has led to speculative coverage in mystery publications such as the Fortean Times.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's definitely real.
Oh, Wikipedia at war with the Fortean Times. They're basically the same. These two things are the same.
Yeah.
So the word orang, which is written orang, is Malay or Indonesian for man or person. Because orangutan is old man of the forest, is it, or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I thought it meant Orange Man.
Orange
Man of the
bad.
forest or something, yeah.
Orange Man is bad.
Yeah.
You know, the Indonesians say, oh yeah, orangutans can totally talk, but they never do, because if they do, they'll be compelled to do work.
I don't know that orangutan prostitute didn't moan.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, they get compelled to do work regardless of whether they're talking or not.
Sex work is real work, I would have you know.
Well, in that case, sex work is taxable work.
Yeah.
Pay up, bitch.
So, whereas Medan is the largest city on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, given an approximate translation of the Man of Medan.
Oh.
Yeah. The account of the ships...
shit, wait, is this the story of the Man of Medan? I might know what this is then.
What?
The Man of Medan, is that like a Cthulhu shit?
I do not
like
know.
Lovecraftian shit, no?
I don't know.
Okay,
Accounts of the ship's accident have appeared in various books and magazines, mainly within Forteana. I don't like the way they're talking about Forteana. It's very upsetting.
Forteana? What is that?
So Forteana is pertaining to Charles Fort, you know, the strangeness and stuff.
That just makes it sound gay.
Yeah. Their factual accuracy and even the ship's existence, however, are unconfirmed, and details of the vessel's construction and history appear to be undocumented. Searches for any official registration or accident investigation have proved unsuccessful. So here's the story, the 1940 version of the story. Told the story of a distress signal being sent out in the area south of the Solomon Islands. The first received stated SOS from the steamship Orang Medan. Beg ships with shortwave wireless to get in touch, doctor, urgent. This was followed by probable second officer dead. Other members crew also killed. Disregard medical consultation. SOS urgent assistance warship. After giving her position, the final message received was an incomplete phrase: "Crew has." Vessels responding to the Orang Medan received no reply. The 1940 version of the story describes rescue vessels approaching the ship, listing in the water, and upon boarding, locating multiple crew dead at their posts. As they ventured further into the ship, explosions were reportedly heard, and so the rescuers abandoned the ship and watched it subsequently go ablaze and sink into the Pacific. So that's the 1940 version. So by 1948, the story was embellished with further details. According to one version of the story, at some point in or around June 1947, 2 American vessels navigating the Straits of Malacca, boom, boom, Malacca, boom, boom. Start which song?
Boom, boom, Malacca, boom, boom, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, walk the dinosaur.
Yeah, but do you know what Malacca actually means in Greek?
No.
I do.
Does it mean foreigner?
Nope. It means wanker.
Ah, you Malacca. That makes a lot of sense.
I always have struggled with Greek names, George.
Yeah, because there's so the Strait of Wankers, in other words.
The city of Baltimore and the Silver Star picked up several distress messages from the nearby Dutch merchant ship Orang Medan.
Deutsch, yeah.
Dutch merchant. According to some accounts, state only a year for the purported event. Other sources, such as Vincent Gaddis, is an American author who invented the phrase Bermuda Triangle. Did you know a bloke invented the phrase? Yeah, Vincent Hayes Gaddis.
I believe it's coined the phrase.
Yes.
Coined.
Invented the phrase.
I've invented the phrase.
We only speak in journalist on this programme, and therefore it is coined the phrase.
Well, if this journalist who invented not coined the term hangry, needs to look up the what. God damn it, I hate journalists. Why is it like every single journalist is illiterate? It's like, do you struggle with the English language? Yeah. Well, career in journalism's for you.
Yeah. I see journalism in your future. So anyway, it was Vincent Gaddis lists the approximate date as early as February 1948. A radio operator aboard the troubled vessel is reported to have sent the following message in Morse code. Beep 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 beep. So it'd be
Bell,
like
baby, bell.
Yeah. SOS from Orang Medan. We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on the bridge. Probably whole of crew dead. Well, what about the bloke sending the SOS? After a few more...
I'm dead.
After a few more incoherent dots and dashes, the words "I die" were received. So he typed it out as he was dying. What meme's that, Fraser?
Oh no, just he made the meme out of it, didn't he? It's like I died, as well. Like,
I died.
Isn't that like in Red Dwarf
this is
where
called
he's
foreshadowing?
where he's using his own entrails and blood to write a message, and it's like,
is that a full stop? No, I think it just sort of plopped out.
I was going to say he used his kidney as a full stop. That's how desperate. I think he just plopped out. Yeah.
So I die were received. No further communications were received. When the Silver Star crew eventually located and aboarded the apparently, what was the name of the ship that went to the rescue of the Titanic? That was the something star. No, I'm thinking of the White Star Line, and that's what I'm thinking of. The crew eventually located and boarded the apparently undamaged Orang Medan in an attempt at rescue. The ship was found littered with corpses, including the carcass of a dog. With the dead bodies sprawled on their backs, the frozen and allegedly badly frightened faces of the deceased upturned to the sun above, with mouths gaping open and eyes staring straight ahead. So the eyes were staring straight ahead and up. These must have been Americans, because Americans have real problems with their eyes. With the corpses resembling horrible caricatures. Ship? This was Dutch, I think, wasn't it? The Orang Medan was Dutch, yeah.
Okay.
He was Dutch.
Because you said it was SS Orang Medan. I was like, SS? That's German, no?
I thought that meant steamship.
Maybe it does.
Or sailing ship? What does SS mean on that?
Does SS
SS
regarding ships?
Yeah.
mean? Because otherwise it will just go, oh, the SS is Hitler's regiment.
I'd get confused. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, steamship.
1940s.
You're right, Hobbit.
Yeah,
Steamship, or sometimes screw steamer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. We've learned something.
What, to
new
distinguish between that and paddle ships?
So
Because
you-
there was ocean-going
So you not
paddle
only had
ships.
the SS, you also had the TSS, which was used for triple screw vessels.
Today. Ooh. I want on one of those fancy fandangled triple screw vessels.
Yeah. Although most modern ships use diesel or nuclear power, prefixed as MV for motor vessel.
What? Wait. Well, hold on. What ships use nuclear power? I'd like to know.
Well, it appears maybe we need to maybe we need to go down this rabbit hole.
Right, I'm glad you asked, Fraser. So this is something which is close
Don't
to my
say
heart.
submarines, right? It's ships, not submarines, right?
Well, that is a
Or did you
marine
say
vessel.
vessels? Okay.
Yeah. So
cop out.
No,
the
actually,
other
because aren't U-boats like USS? No, that's the United States ship. Is that a United States ship?
It
Hold
might
on.
be.
Should we go on the ship prefix?
Let's
Hold
go
on,
into the.
Let's finish the Orang Medan, and then we'll dive into like.
We'll get
ship
autistic
stuff.
about ship names.
Yeah.
Fucking...
So anyway, so the SOS from blah, 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 we were I dead, all of that, upturned to the sun. Just as the ship was prepared to tow by the Silver Star to a nearby port, a fire then suddenly broke out in the ship's number 4 cargo hold, forcing the boarding party. I've just got to say, if your like first thing is you're seeing all these people with these horrific rictus grins on their face, would you be going, I know what we'll do, we'll go further into the ship?
I mean, yeah, no,
No, Fraser.
yeah. I mean,
Hobbit, you're seeing these horrifically disfigured bodies. Are you going further into the ship just to see what's going on, or are you like, I'm going to tow this back and then some soldiers can board it and see what?
Not only
going
that, I'm gonna use the old style torches with the D cells in, the ones which sort of flicker as soon as you move.
yeah.
And I'm gonna tell Valmer, Daphne, and whoever the bloke was.
Yeah.
Daphne, he's got blonde hair and anyway, I'm going to say
Fred.
we should all split up and look. Yeah, that's
Fred.
it. Fred, let's all split up and look for clues.
Fred, you go and shag Daphne, and we'll just keep the ghost busy.
Yeah, look, no, you see, Scooby and I are going to go to the ship's galley and we're going to look for clues there.
Velma's gonna knock her glasses off and crawl around on her hands and knees for a bit while we're running through various doors.
And accidentally set the cargo for bay and fire.
And we're going to be screaming because despite never having actually seen a ghost, we're scared of ghosts because every time it turns out not to be a ghost, like because we've never seen one, but we still believe that they're all ghosts.
Yeah, except in that Supernatural episode when it was a real ghost.
Yeah. So just as the ship, then fire suddenly broke out the 4 cargo hold, forcing the boarding party to hastily evacuate the doomed Dutch freight. They're all doomed, thus preventing any further investigations from being carried out. Soon after, the Orang Medan was witnessed exploding before finally sinking. Some versions of the story attribute further details to the sole survivor, an unnamed German of the Orang Medan crew, who swam to safety and was subsequently found by an Italian missionary and natives on the Taongi Atoll in the Marshall Islands. It's in the Marshall Islands where they tested the nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's the Marshall Atoll, was it?
Yeah.
Bikini Atoll?
But this is Taongi Atoll.
All right, cool.
And now we know why they had to nuke those islands, because that guy turned up.
Yeah, the man before perishing tells the missionary that the ship was carrying a badly stowed cargo or oil of vitriol, Hobbit.
Like Scoob, I found a clue in this in the cooking pot.
Do you know what oil of vitriol is, Hobbit?
Well, vitriol is bad, right? So...
Is it where, like, Ben Shapiro has done a 5-hour rant about Judeo-Christian values, and you scrape the sweat off of his forehead?
Incorrect, Hobbit. Oil of vitriol is sulfuric acid.
I didn't know that sulfuric acid was considered oily. Hey, do you remember that time in Face Off where they're just like, oh, there's a vial of sulfuric acid here. That'll come in handy.
Yeah.
And then he shoots it.
Well, you always need some I don't know what to kill prisoners. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what for. That was funny.
So,
That we watched.
How would you die from badly contained sulfuric acid if it's not?
Hobbit.
You can't, because it's not gaseous at that point. It's in liquid form.
Hobbit.
What was the question? I heard something about.
So it's badly stowed. It's badly stowed acid. Is that going to kill the whole of the crew and give them rictus grins?
What, like aerosolized sulfuric acid?
Yeah.
No, because there'd be like I say caustic burns. There would be acid burns on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's
and it would need to be in a contained environment for that, but they had like windows.
Yeah, that's
and
not right.
decks and shit.
Yeah, all you've got to do is get on the deck.
Yeah, exactly. Like, open a window and you're fine, right? It's like carbon monoxide. Like, it's just gonna go out the fucking window. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
According to the story, the Orang Medan was sailing from an unnamed Chinese port to Costa Rica and deliberately avoided the authorities. So this is why.
Yeah.
So hypotheses. Is that hypotheses? Is it
hypotheses?
Hypotheses. Shouldn't that be
Hypotheses?
Hypothesi, shouldn't it?
Hypothesize.
Yeah.
One of my many hypothesi.
You're asking me to struggle with those Greek names again, aren't you?
It's like fish and fish.
Hypotheses is my favourite.
I think it's multiple hypotheses.
Yeah. What is it?
I always have struggled with Greek names, George.
So Bainton and others, I don't know who Bainton is, but Bainton and others hypothesised that that Orang Medan might have been involved in smuggling operations of chemical substances such as a combination of potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin, or even wartime stocks of nerve agents. According to these theories, seawater would have entered the ship's hold, reacting with the cargo to release toxic gases. So how would it react with the cargo then, Hobbit?
Right, that makes more sense. The sulfuric acid combines with some salt, like it could even combine with salt, and you get chlorine gas. Yeah, chlorine gas would suffocate people. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Which then caused the crew to succumb to asphyxia or poisoning. Later, the seawater would have reacted with the nitroglycerin, causing the reported fire and explosion. Another theory is that the ship was transporting tabun, a nerve gas. You ever heard of tabun, Hobbit?
No. It's
an extremely toxic compound, a nerve agent, a chemical weapon of the organophosphate family. It's not present in nature. Room temperature.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Room temperature, the pure compound is a clear and viscous liquid. However, impurities... I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. A nerve gas which the Japanese military have been storing in China during the war, and which was handed over to the US military at the end of the war. No US ship could transport it, as it would leave a paper trail. It was therefore loaded onto a non-registered ship for transport to the US or an island in the Pacific.
That's me. Yeah, I go with option B.
So the other one is Gaddis puts forward the theory that an undetected smouldering fire or malfunction in the ship's boiler system might have been responsible for the shipwreck. Escaping carbon monoxide would have caused the deaths of all aboard, with the fire slowly spreading out of control, leading to the vessel's ultimate destruction. But that wouldn't have killed everybody. It would have killed everybody below decks, wouldn't it? Escaping carbon monoxide.
Again, anything without a wind. If it was one window open, it'd be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah. So the contemporaneous coverage we're going into now. The earliest iteration of the story appears in Il Piccolo, the local newspaper of Trieste, in a series of I Drammi del Mar, Dramas of the Sea, written by Silvio Shirley in October 1940. Shirley, that's Scherli, and stop calling me Shirley, was a main maritime radio operator and freelance journalist. So source bro Shirley made it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not reading it. I'm not wasting time on that. So people have looked for it and they haven't found ship's logs. Ship's logs for the Silver Star didn't show a record of a rescue attempt. They couldn't find anything in Lloyd's register of American and foreign shipping. And then no registration records for a ship by the name of Orang Medan could be located in various countries, including the Netherlands. So, source, they made it up, bro.
Made it up.
So, Hobbit, do you want to do some heavy autism on ships' prefixes?
I want to talk about nuclear vessels.
Nuclear vessels.
I will read
nuclear
about
vessels, Hobbit.
Yeah. Yes, you see. Hang on. Right, just had to finish it. Okay, so nuclear vessels, as Fraser excluded the nuclear submarines from. There are nuclear aircraft carriers. France, United Kingdom, United States, Russia has them. And in addition to that, Russia has a maritime nuclear fleet, which is non-military.
Really?
They still have. They built. I think it was 21 in the 1980s, and 2 of them are still operating. They're nuclear freighters, and they also have a fleet of nuclear-powered icebreakers. Now, the interesting thing about nuclear reactors in marine environments is, a nuclear power plant is great because what you do is you get up to temperature, you get the steam turbines going, and it's a consistent load all the time. Whereas in a nuclear vessel, they accelerate, they slow down, and because of that,
I believe it's called a nuclear vessel.
These as Walter Koenig would say, these nuclear vessels, they would they accelerate, they slow down, they stop. And because of that, you have to adjust the reactor output.
So
which is
do they use the actual seawater they're going through as like coolant then?
I looked into that, right? So what they do is they've got what's called the primary coolant loop, and that will be purified water or sometimes liquid sodium. And then the secondary coolant loop, which will also be purified water. And then they've got the third, or sometimes the secondary loop is the third, but the third loop is the one where water from the sea is it purified? I think they purify, because the boilers and steam turbines, they don't react well with salt. And this is not like a new thing. Like, they've known about this since the age of steamships. So they do something where
they desalinate it.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think what they do, because they make a lot of heat, like they've got like a pre-boiler, and that gets the the waste steam heats up that water, and then it evaporates, and then they got like a multiple stage refinement process, so that when the actual like steam gets to the turbines, there's very little salt, if any, on it.
So there we go.
Yeah. Now, you want to know about ship prefixes?
Yeah, I'll put the thing in.
Yes, ship prefixes. The Fortean subject of ship prefixes.
Yes.
A ship prefix is a combination of letters, usually abbreviation. Oh, did you know they're abbreviations?
Abbreviations.
Yeah, I do struggle. I do struggle with those English words.
Oh, aberrations or abbreviations? Because they're different things.
Right. Okay. So there's a word here in this big word that's brev, but as in brevity, which means to keep it brief. So an abbreviation. Yeah. There we go. See, I know what these words mean. Used in front of a name of a civilian or naval ship that has historically served numerous purposes, such as identifying the vessel's mode of propulsion, purpose, ownership, nationality. What's the chances Justine Maxwell edited this article? Because you know she did like 80% of like Wikipedia edits.
Yeah, she was probably checking through this one to see if there was any mention of her dad still being alive.
Oh, yeah, maybe there was like, mentions of like shipping companies that, is there a prefix for vessels used for Geoffroy de Epstein's logistics?
Well, I was talking about Robert Maxwell.
Oh, right, yeah, Robert Maxwell, yeah. Historically, prefixes for civilian vessels often identified the vessel's mode of propulsion, such as MV, motor vessel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did wonder about that. SS, screw steamer.
I thought it said that nuclear ships were supposed to be called motor vessels.
Well, motor vessel wouldn't count anything with an engine, I suppose.
Yeah.
And there's now here's the thing, right? So I thought SS meant steamship, and you see SS means screw steamer, often cited as steamship.
Yeah.
And there's also PS, which is paddle steamers.
Yeah. You've also got so technology has introduced a broad variety of differently named vessels into the world's oceans, such as LPGC, which is a liquid petroleum gas carrier, or TB, which is a tugboat, or a DB, which is a derrick barge.
A derrick barge.
Yeah. These abbreviations are used for purely formal and legal identification and not used colloquially or in the daily working environment. Prefixes indicating a vessel's purpose include RMS for a Royal Mail ship. Did you know Royal Mail had ships?
They had trains as well.
Yeah, an RV for research vessel.
Yeah.
So what are they saying then? Are they saying that the prefixes don't appear anywhere except for on paperwork then? Is that what they're saying?
Oh, I'm sure they have them like painted on the sides of the name. Yeah, so you got like USS, which in the early days, the United States Navy often included a type of vessel. For like a United States frigate would be a USF.
So you have
But then-
HMAS, which is His Majesty's Australian ship.
Yeah.
His Majesty's HMCS, which is His Majesty's Canadian ship, and HMNZS, which is his or her Majesty's New Zealand ships.
Oh, we got merchant navy ships like an AEs and ammunition, AFS combat stores, AHT anchor handling tug. Yeah.
You also have the US Navy, so you have USF, which is United States frigate, and then United States ship, which is the USS.
Yeah.
So there we go. Little bit.
The
about
Fortean world of ship abbreviations.
spoopy word. Oh look, there's a whole list of them there.
I like the ASDS, Autonomous Spaceport Drone Ship. That I'm sure that comes in useful.
Autonomous spaceport's drone ship. Anchor handling tug supply vessel. Fucking hell, that's all the jobs. What else have we got here? What are the funny ones? We've got diesel electric paddle vessel. The other one, driving support vessel or deep submergence vehicle. Oh, DSV. That's Sequest DSV for the Sequest DFC.
That was terrible.
DSV.
I hated that show. Do you know there's such potential in that show as well, because it's like we know so little about the deep sea,
Yeah.
and you could do all sorts of fantasy with it, and it was basically just like, hey, let's have the most irritating like dolphin character ever.
Yeah.
How could you make a dolphin? Oh, and the other thing I hated about that show, which was so endemic at the time, the Americans loved the sound of a reverse cymbal. There were so many shows using reverse cymbals, and I'm like, it's not that exciting. It's just a cymbal, and you've reversed it.
How about an FPSO, which is a floating production, storage, and offloading vessel? How about an ERV, which is an emergency response rescue vessel?
What's one for like a fireman fighting ship?
I can't see a firefighting one. Speedcraft. It's at the bottom of it if you want to look through it. What else we got? Motor yacht, which is an MY. Platform supply vessel. Oh yeah. Royal Mail. So you've got a Royal Mail ship, Royal Mail vessel, Royal Mail motor vessel, Royal National Lifeboat. Oh yeah, the RNLB. I thought it was the RNLI. Or is that something else?
Lifeboats. That's lifeboats, isn't it?
Yeah, Royal National Lifeboat, RNLB.
Institute. Yeah.
But it's the RNLI, isn't it?
Yeah, Institute. I think it is.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, an SSV, which is a sailing school vessel, or an SSS, which is a Sea Scout ship. I think we've done all that on that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Very large crude carrier. which is a VLCC.
A very large.
Or you can have an
I-
ultra-large crude carrier.
Oh,
I did wonder about that because I was looking like, okay, what's the biggest ships in the world? And it turns out VLCCs are pretty large.
I'd say the ultra-large would be the biggest one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, that's because when they made the ultra larges, they're like, oh, we're going to need to. Yeah, but the thing I don't like about using the term ultra
hold on.
to
How
mean
about this one then? So you get a YW, which is a water barge self-propelled, and then you have a YWN, which is a water barge non-propelled.
So one of the things I've always wondered about using the term ultra to mean, because they do it in radio as well, like you've got VHF and then there's UHF above that, and so VHF is very high frequency, UHF is ultra high frequency. So they're like, oh, well, we've got these very large crude carriers, but we've also got ultra large. And then, so what are you going to have when there's like an even bigger crude carrying ship? Because I think there's probably a practical limit. They're saying, well, they got things which are called Suez and Panama Canal compliant ships, and the ULCCs aren't Panama compliant.
Oh,
because
did you know
they're too
Italian
big.
ships have AMB on them? Do you know what that stands for?
Is it standing for
That's my boat.
Ambrosia?
That's my boat.
That's my boat. So someone in the chat saying that.
No, I it's an old joke that I know.
That's my boat.
That's my boat.
That's my boat.
Yeah.
You know what? I was going to do some research whilst we're going on, but now we're talking about ships, so I'll just.
Joggers says all of Tenerífe's drinking water is desalinated seawater. And he also says, what does RSM stand for, Hobbity Bobbity?
RSM.
RMS. That's Royal Mail
RMS.
ship.
Oh, no, but there's also like RMS for radio, isn't there? I don't know what it means. Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to talk about next, Hobbit?
Well, I don't, because I haven't finished doing the research of it yet. I'll start off, and you know what? We'll
Do you want
do
to
it.
talk about possessed pigs and phantom porkers?
yeah.
You know what? I want you to talk about that for the next 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Hold on, give me a sec. You have to talk for a second while I find it.
Hello.
I'm looking. I'm
talking.
doing it analog style, lads.
I'm filling in the dead air.
Yeah.
Well, whilst you're talking about that, I can mention, you see, the famous lightning strike, because I said, I got Snopes by Grok here. I said, actually, the famous lightning strike at St. Peter's Basilica, it didn't happen when Pope Francis was elected. It was on the 11th of February, 2013, which is the day Pope Benedict XVI is 16th. Pope Benedict XVI announced his resignation, which, by the way, is, as far as I know, is the first time in like the history of the church a pope's resigned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Some reports noted it struck twice that event evening during a storm, which many saw as symbolic. Well, yeah. Pope Francis, which is Cardinal Jorge, so that's George, Bergoglio.
So, are we putting that down to like God being displeased, and he was like, or he was like ecstatic?
I hope
He was
people in the
electric.
audience can hear my neighbours. They're currently going vroom, 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 because like their house is like a constant construction project, and I'm guessing they've got
Is
like
do you live next door to the Winchester house? You know about the Winchester house, don't you, Hobbit?
The
yeah,
house
you
that
know
they kept
what?
building on, yeah.
It fucking well is. I think what they're doing at the moment is they're using a sander on their floors.
Have they earned,
It's like-
have they earned money from gun sales? Is that why they're constantly got to keep building their house?
Do you know, they might as well be. I mean, it's like, oh, look, we varnished that floor 3 years ago. Time to put a new layer of varnish on it. Time to sand it all fucking
God.
down.
You know what? I think I want a thatch roof this year, and then next year they're like, oh, we're going back to tiles again.
Don't fucking tempt them. Because they will do that. They have got a tile roof, and they're just the sort of people to go, oh, you know what, tiles are a bit old hat, aren't they? They've been on there for, 10 years now? Yeah, time to... Actually, they've been on there for 11 years. They probably will start thatching it, yeah. So, Pope Francis, which was Cardinal Jorge, I do struggle with those Spanish words, Jorge Bergoglio, was elected on March the 13th, 2013, after the conclave. So that was after St. Peter's Basilica was struck twice by lightning. There are no well-known reports of lightning striking the basilica during the conclave on this election. The dramatic imagery and stories often get linked in popular memory in the transition between popes. Now, I mentioned this, right, because I said, hey, wasn't there a time, right? I'm trying to link some things here together, but they're a bit wrong, so bear with me, right? In January of 2014, Pope Francis was doing a weekly Angelus prayer. I don't know what the Angelus is, I'm sorry. So he was doing this Angelus prayer on the 26th of January 2014 in St. Peter's Square. Two children standing with him released two white doves from a window of the Apostolic Palace as a peace gesture. This was amid prayers for peace in Ukraine, because you remember in 2014, Ukraine was doing stuff.
Oh,
the Maidan
yes.
Revolution.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That was a strange time. There was this guy called Maidan and like Volodymyr Zelensky, and it was like, oh no, my opponent has died in mysterious circumstances involving poisoning, which I didn't do. Time for me to sweep in and become president of Ukraine and
time for a
attacking.
civil war.
And ban auctions.
And time for me to use artillery on Ukrainians in the Donbass, because actually I'm saying they're not Ukrainians and they're Russians, and we'll just forget about this. That's got no relation to what's going on now. So anyway, all of that aside, two doves were released. Right after the release, the doves were attacked by a large black crow, often described or remembered as a raven, and a seagull, specifically a yellow-legged gull. The crow pecked at one dove repeatedly, and the other struggled to escape the seagull, with feathers flying as thousands watched. The doves flew off, but their fate wasn't immediately clear. The incident got a lot of attention due to the symbolism, peace doves being attacked, and photos of it circulate widely. Now, I will say this does tie into something, right? Yeah. Are you familiar with the Marian apparition of Our Lady of Fatima?
Is that the Spanish one? Is that
of course, we all are.
Is that the three girls that saw the apparition?
Yeah.
The shepherdesses. Yes. Now, we all know Our Lady of Fatima, because you Fortean aficionados will know it as one of the most paranormal events, which not only did believers see it, but non-believers, skeptics, people who are cynical on this, the photographers at the time. It's like, well, these girls say that Mary's going to appear at this thing.
I've just found a weird page about Newsround. It says, did you know that some squishy toys can be unsafe? The demand for them is huge, and whilst many of these toys are okay for children to use, there are a growing number of squishy toys that are not. Some local councils across the UK have been seizing fake versions of these toys to help keep children safe, as Shaniqua found out. Did you know? Do you know Newsround have Shaniqua working for them?
Wait, was Shaniqua chewing on the dog toy? Is that why they had to remove it? Poor Shaniqua.
With the Marian apparition, there's sorry, the Lady of Fatima. I haven't read fully about it, but the gist of it is three shepherdesses. Well, I think there was a boy as well, two girls. I can't remember. Anyway, point being is, Mary told them she'd appear again at that spot. They told lots of people. Skeptics went, oh, well, we'll come and photograph it just to prove you stupid children are wrong. And then Mary appeared, and the sun danced in the sky. It didn't go from east to west like it normally does, which is very strange, because it's like, well, hang on, isn't it the same sun the world around? Because other people in other parts of the world reported the sun going from east to west, but at Fatima, it didn't. It was dancing in the sky, and very, very strange. Like, that's one. I've no explanation for that. I can't, like, you know, even in a flat Earth model, the sun still goes in a predictable pattern.
Yeah.
So I've got no explanation for this. Now, the reason I mentioned Our Lady of Fatima in regards to all this stuff.
Sorry, what way did it go again? What way?
It danced in the sky.
In what way did it dance?
I mean, if we want to do an episode about Our Lady of Fatima, I think that would be a great Fortean subject. But I'm only mentioning it as an aside in this Bishop Bergoglio thing and Peace for Ukraine, because
dancing could be anything, could go back and forwards, up and down. Yeah,
Again, the details are not relevant to the story. I'm just bringing it to give some contents about this Angelus prayer where the doves were attacked, because
it was praying dancing in the sky with the moon. I don't know,
It was praying for peace in Ukraine and Russia. So now the thing is, as we know, that's not really worked out, because we're now 12 years on from that event, and things haven't really improved in that area of the world. Now, I find that very interesting, because did you know what some people say? Because there was like 4. Shall I bring it up, or Hemi, do you want to bring up what the 4 things that Lady of Fatima told them about? Because the 4th thing was revealed to them, and then the Vatican kept it secret until I say secret, but they didn't mention it until after Pope John Paul survived his assassination attempt, and they said, "Oh, well, the 4th thing that Mary said was related to John Paul II surviving his assassination attempt."
What do you call it?
Well,
is it a vision?
The Lady of Fatima, the Fatima apparition, Marian apparition. Now, some people say it's not.
The primary vision of Our Lady of Fatima revealed to shepherd children Lucia Santos, Jacinta Marto, and Francisco Marto was a terrifying glimpse of hell. During the apparition on July 13th, 1917, the Virgin Mary opened her hands, projecting rays of light that penetrated the earth, allowing children to see a vast sea of fire. The key details of the vision include the scene: souls of the damned appeared as transparent burning embers or blackened bronze, floating in the conflagration amid shrieks and groans. The demons, they were described as having a terrifying likeness to frightful and unknown animals, black and transparent like burning coals. The purpose: the vision served as a warning that many souls go to hell because no one prays or makes sacrifices for them, prompting Mary to teach the children specific prayers and acts of reparations to save souls. How about this from the National Catholic Register? What were you looking for? Frightening vision.
Well,
so 3 things. There were 3, weren't there?
Was there
3 here.
I thought. Oh, there's only 3. Okay, I get it mixed up.
The 3 secrets contain prophecies and messages about the future, including a vision of hell, the prediction of World War II, and a call for the conversion of Russia to Christianity. So I'm assuming they kept the World War II one stum until after the war or something. I don't know, which one did they keep quiet?
Let's see if there is a 4th revelation.
Wow. Again, so if the 3rd or the 4th...
There is no 4th, so there's only 3
Yeah,
parts.
it's 3.
Okay, so the 3rd one was about...
hold on a sec. Claims regarding a 4th secret or a second text of the 3rd secret, you're just a swivel-eyed conspiracy theorist hobbit that has been dismissed by the Vatican. Archbishop Loris Francesco Capovilla, I do struggle with those Italian names, who witnessed Pope John the 23rd open the envelope in 1959, explicitly stated that the text distributed in 2000 was the complete and only 3rd secret, nothing. There are not 2 truths from Fatima, nor is there any 4th secret.
Right, so I will say what I've been told.
Conspiracy theorist loon hobbit.
What I have been told, and I think this is quite pertinent to all this stuff, is Our Lady wanted us to, when I'm saying this, us as in Catholics, I'm not part of the clergy, but I still consider myself Catholic. Yeah, you don't have to be a priest or a holy order to be Catholic. Anyway, I was told that the final part of it is Our Lady wanted Russia to be consecrated to the Christian faith, and this was supposed to be done in the 60s.
Well, I've found it. So, critics such as Italian journalist and media personality Antonio Socci claim that the 4-page handwritten text of the 3rd secret, released by the Vatican in 2000, is not the real secret, or at least not the full secret. The argument is based on the following. Written on one sheet of paper, the text of the 3rd secret, released by the Vatican, is handwritten on 4 sheets of paper. Father Joaquin Alonso, official Fatima archivist for 16 years, reports in his book that Lucy tells us that she wrote it on a sheet of paper in a taped interview. Charles Fiore quoted Malachi Martin as saying the following. He's an interesting guy, isn't he, Malachi Martin? As saying the following regarding the text of the Third Secret. I cooled my heels in the corridor outside the Holy Father's apartments, while my boss, Cardinal B, that's BEA, so Cardinal B, was inside debating with the Holy Father with a group of other bishops and priests. Here you go, I'll link you to this so you can have a read through it as well.
Thanks. So I was told again
there's
that
loads more in this. There's loads more in this.
Again, I didn't want to. I mean, I know we're getting bogged down in this, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to bring it back to the thing about the doves of peace, right? So.
So here we're saying. So I've found some meat on this. So what they're saying, it contains information about the apocalypse, apostasy, satanic infiltration of the church, in an interview published in the 11th of November.
Hemi.
Second.
Hello, Hemi.
Stop, Hemi.
Right. Contains information about the apocalypse, apostasy, satanic infiltration of the church in an interview published in the 11th of November 1984 edition of magazine. Right, let's see if...
Hello?
You're back in the room.
Have we stopped saying Hemi now?
Well, I think Hobbit wants to do an episode on this thing. So
we're very excited, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, yes, you see, the reason being is, and I do think we should do about Our Lady of Fatima.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great episode. But I wanted to tie it back to these doves. You see...
So don't go giving the whole thing away. That's what you're doing.
But wait, there's more. I know there is more. So there's you see, people say, "Oh, it's conspiracy theory. There's no such thing." Of Our Mary saying that Russia should be consecrated to the church. Do you think if Russia was
John Paul II spoke about it as well. He said, because of the seriousness of its contents, in order not to encourage the worldwide power of communism to carry out certain coups, my predecessors in the chair of Peter have diplomatically preferred to withhold its publication. So the thing that they're saying that they're not that is complete bullshit. People have been talking about.
Again, I wish it wasn't like this, because again, how does it benefit people to say, "Oh, look, don't consecrate Russia to the Catholic Church"? I mean, you'll piss off.
Do you think that's what John Paul's talking about, communism then?
Well, many priests have condemned communism because I can't remember who said it, but they said that the three things which have led to the state we're in now was
so Ratzinger, the guy, he was the guy that was cooed out, wasn't he?
That was Pope Benedict, yeah.
Yeah, so Cardinal Ratzinger was asked whether he had read the text of the Third Secret and why it had not been revealed. Ratzinger acknowledged that he'd read the Third Secret and stated in part that the Third Secret involves the importance of the Novissimi.
Oh, I do struggle with that Latin words.
In Christian eschatology, the four last things are death, judgment, heaven and hell, the four stages of the soul in life and the afterlife. They're often commended as a topic for the pious meditation.
Yeah. In the Book of the Apocalypse they mentioned that. So now here's the thing, right? So
Ratzinger also commented that if it is not made public, at least for the time being, it is in order to prevent religious prophecy from being mistaken for a quest for the sensational. So there is more to it, and everybody's admitted there's more to it, but everyone says there's no more to it.
Wait, hold on. So what are they trying to hide then?
This is what they're saying. They
can't use about Russia.
John Paul II said it's about communism.
Yeah.
Ratzinger doesn't really say. Ratzinger acknowledged he read the Third Secret, stating part of the Third Secret involves reporting with the Novissimi and the dangers of threatening the faith and the life of the Christian and therefore the life of the world. If it's not made public, at least for the time being, it is in order to prevent religious prophecy from being mistaken for a quest for the sensational. So whatever it is pretty fire.
I would say that's probably prudent. I mean, you don't want people jumping to conclusions.
Would you assume it might be when Jesus Christ is coming back?
I don't want to speculate on that. I will tell you what I will speculate on, because hear me out here, right?
Do you know about Our Lady of Akita?
Because that would be putting fuel
Yes,
to like
I
prophecy,
do.
wouldn't it?
But
That
Our
would be-
Lady of Akita is a different Marian apparition.
Yeah, they're saying as well that they mention.
Maybe we should do an episode on Marian apparitions, because there's been a lot of them, and it's very
Because in part of this they say, so Dee claimed that Cardinal Ratzinger had personally confirmed to him that the message of Akita and Fatima are essentially the same.
You mean that they got the same message,
I
basically?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So in other words, Mary's been like making appearances elsewhere to say, "Hey, look, my message
Akita
was
is
hidden
like
here."
A Japanese, Akita is like a Japanese Lady Fatima.
Who the fuck sands their floors at like 8 p.m.? I'm sorry, but just like, there's
Hobbit, that isn't sanding. They're doing something else.
Oh, there's a whole page on Marian apparitions. Did you know that?
Yes, there is. We should definitely do an episode on Marian apparitions. Now, back to the two doves.
Yeah.
Right. So you see, I find this interesting, right? Okay, so let me just work out some things here, and then I'll get your opinions on it. Okay, let's say the
I've
third.
just got one more thing to say. In a syndicated radio broadcast,
Okay, Columbo.
Malachi Martin stated that the third secret doesn't make any sense unless we accept that there will be, or that there is in progress, a wholesale apostasy amongst clerics and laity in the Catholic Church.
Dun dun dun.
This is pretty. I
Saints
didn't
Little
realise.
Season.
I didn't realise that it was so like incendiary.
It's Saints Little Season, boys. I'm telling you, it's fucking everything. Just it's. I'm telling you, lads. Not crazy. There's something to this.
Well, okay.
No,
the reason I mentioned
IC3 Joggers has said something, and I cannot read it out.
Okay,
What?
so whilst you think about what IC3 Jogger said, I'll tell you my theory on this, because I would like to do.
Copied and paste.
Yeah, well, that's a very even if we were to say that out to our audience, there's like it's not going to make any sense to anybody except for who's on this call, right? It's a very inside joke.
That is, yeah.
Right, so I will say this. Now, this is why I bring up Our Lady of Fatima. Supposing, like, the Vatican had said, oh, look, Our Lady, as in, like, the Holy Mother, the Mother of God, has told us we need to consecrate Russia. We're going to do it. We're going to have to talk with some of the Eastern Orthodox patriarchs and say, look, guys, we're not doing this to piss you off or anything, but we're doing a well, that thing is, in the 60s, they were all atheists, weren't they? So I don't know what happened
Well, this
to
is
the...
why. Well, either this is saying, like, based... the Virgin, the Mother of
Fraser,
Jesus
this is going to get you properly wet. They're going to say.
Yeah.
So it says, according to one source, Lucia was allegedly asked about the third secret and remarked that it was in the Gospels and the Apocalypse, and at one point it even specified Apocalypse chapters 8 to 13.
What would that be in Revelation? Or is that a different book? Apocalypse?
Are we going to open up Bible
the book
Hub?
of Revelation 12:4.
Oh yes, okay.
You know what 12:4 is, do you?
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Revelation.
Which was a chapter and verse cited by Pope John Paul II in his homily in Fatima on 13th of May 2000.
And the dragon tail sweeps away 1/3 of the stars and throws them to the earth. And it also stands in front of the woman giving birth, ready to devour her child as soon as it is born. Yeah, it's
Ooh, that's a bit of a weird one.
Yes. Though, like, the dragon is
Holy
Satan,
shit.
obviously.
So the Vatican is concealing one page of the third text secret, which predicts a great apostasy where Rome will lose the faith and become the throne of the Antichrist.
Yeah, which is you can see why
I'll tell
the
you what,
Vatican would want
I think we
to.
could do like a whole episode on the third
Oh, yeah.
secret controversy.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
I would love to do an episode on Marian
Fist pump in
apparitions
the air right now. Yeah,
because
someone believes me.
Marian apparitions are. Well,
Someone
here's the
fucking
thing.
believes me.
The thing is, people don't like. There are miracles around the world, and people they just ignore them. And one of the miracles which happens, and people really don't like they think, yeah, but it happens all the time at mass. Every time at mass, there's this thing called the Eucharist, which is a piece of unleavened bread. It's just flour and water, except when the priest consecrates it, it stops being flour and water and it becomes the actual body of Christ. Now, there has been a few times where the Eucharist has been, because like if not all the Eucharist is eaten, it gets put in the tabernacle. And there has been times where the Eucharist has shown signs of blood staining on it. And what happens then is that's called a Eucharistic miracle.
That's transubstantiation, isn't it?
Well, the transubstantiation is where it's consecrated and then it transforms from being unleavened bread into the body of Christ. Now, what happens then when there is a Eucharistic miracle is it's sent to an independent forensic laboratory to say, can you analyse this sample? And they're not told what it is or where it came from. They just said, can you just tell us what it is? And they say, yep, it's human DNA, it's heart tissue, and it shows signs of great trauma. And that's what consistently the report is. And every time one of these Eucharistic miracles happens, it's always heart tissue. It's like, what? So it's Jesus' heart? I thought it was his flesh. Well, I mean, yeah, heart is technically flesh, but I thought it would be like his skin. I didn't know.
Isn't the iconography of Jesus holding his heart, though, isn't it? Is that
That's the golden heart, isn't it?
There's a thing called the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and every month of June, or is it July, they'll tell you it's about pride. It's not. That's a sin. It's the sacred month it's the month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and you can spend some time just sort of thinking about
you heard about the story from Amsterdam in 1345.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, claims that a priest was called to administer viaticum to a dying man. Is that last rites or something? I bet.
Yeah, that'll be what it is.
He told the family that if the man threw up, they would take the contents and throw it in the fire. The man threw up, and the family did what the priest had advised them to do. The next morning, one of the women went to rake the fire and noticed the host sitting on the grate, unscathed and surrounded by a light. It had apparently passed into both the man's digestive system and the fire unscathed. The story is commemorated with an annual silent procession through central Amsterdam. How about this one? So in 2023, a church in Orlando, Florida burnt down, but while both the altar and the tabernacle were incinerated, a sole Eucharistic host uncovered under the ash survived the fire.
Did you see the statue of Jesus recently? You know the wildfires have been, which is totally not Jewish space lasers, by the way.
Yeah.
The fires ravaged through France, Spain, Norway, which is a coincidence. It's got nothing to do with Norway sanctioning Israel recently.
No. Not like that time in Argentina. Yeah, when they said no.
Yeah, that's a funny story. So the statue of Jesus is just, it survived the fire. The same thing happened in Notre Dame as well. The altar and the crucifix survived that devastating fire. And then you got the ray of light shining through the burnt down church, shining on the cross and making it glow golden.
I found a direct quote from the doctors that did that. The professors wrote in an academic article that the tissue fragments observed under the microscope undoubtedly belong to a human heart and look as if the sample had been taken from the heart of a living person in agony.
Oof.
Yeah. I got to say, right, now, I saw The Passion of the Christ about 6 years ago, and I thought, oh man, this is over the top. No, it's not. I've read the Bible since then, and it's like, Oh, they actually held back a lot of details. It's really grim. Yeah. So anyway, the reason I mention about these doves, right, and the way they was attacked is now this is my theory. It's a supposition. If in the 60s, and I don't know how the Eastern Orthodox Church survived atheist communism, but my understanding is in the 90s it was largely reconstituted, and it's a bit like the Church of England. It's a political wing of the Russian government. Now, if in the 60s the Vatican has said we are consecrating Russia to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, because I think that's what Mary wanted. She said, look, bring them to my son so that they can be forgiven. If they had done that, when Pope Francis released those doves, do you think they'd have been attacked? Because I believe in omens, and I think that's a bad omen. And I've seen things like, do you remember, was it like during the COVID lockdowns where there was that white horse streaked in blood that was galloping through the streets in London? And then a white stag was spotted in, was it Hertfordshire? I say Hertfordshire. Yeah. But then there was a horse streaked in blood.
Yeah, that was soon, like, that was around Rothschild died, wasn't it? That's what I said the other day to you about it.
Yeah.
Rothschild died around that time as well when that happened.
1310 in Austria.
Coincidence?
Wine turns into blood, boils, overflows chalice, doubting priest. It just got 1345 Netherlands. 1345 Poland, stolen host is found illuminated. It's got a list of them. What's the Brussels massacre in 1370? I don't. An anti-Semitic episode. So in Brussels in 1370 in Belgium, bleeding host, stolen host, related to the Brussels massacre apparently. There's loads of these. Host cures paralysed boy in La Rochelle in 1461.
You ever heard of Lourdes, Hobbit?
Yeah, everyone knows.
In France.
Everyone knows about
Lourdes.
I have my rosary is from Lourdes, and it was from my grandmother. It's my inheritance.
Yeah.
I do want to make a pilgrimage there at some point.
In Spain in 1657, during consecration, girl sees father in purgatory surrounded by flames. Tissue ignites.
Spooky.
Yeah, there's some real spooky ones.
Was the father dead, or was he alive? Was he alive at the time when they saw that? Does he not say?
He was dead.
All right.
I assume.
That's not a good sign, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how about this one then? In Turin in 1640, attempt to steal host prevented by flames.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, it's... So, Now, if I go back to these doves, right, because I think to myself, God was admonishing Pope Francis in this case, but more than that, he was also chastising, that's the word, chastising the Vatican for failing in its duty. Mary came with a specific mission. I am going to assume it is to consecrate Russia to the church, and they have failed in their duty.
How come red bread mold?
So wait, does that mean is Our Lady trying to say that like the Orthodox aren't really Christians?
No. I don't think it's that at all. You see,
they were still Orthodox around, but why would that need to be brought back to Christianity then?
I just want to preface something. Look, I may be totally wrong. It may be in a few years' time the Vatican will release the full text of the Fatima apparition, and we'll know the truth of it. And I could be totally wrong, in which case I apologise. However, I still think it would be very good if the Vatican was to consecrate Russia to the Catholic Church and heal the schism. Now, one of the first things Pope Leo did, and I was very pleased to see it, is he had a conference with, I think it was Greek Orthodox patriarchs, but some of the Russian ones were invited too, and they prayed the Nicene Creed together. Now, they prayed the older version, which the Eastern Orthodox pray, because I think there's now the Athens Nicene Creed, which is the one currently the Catholics pray. And he is working on reconciliation with them. He's also working on reconciliation with the Church of England, which I think is brilliant, because I would really like to see the church's return to the.
If there's ever an organisation that needs some God, it's the Church of England.
Put it this way, like I will say this: it's terribly chauvinistic of me. Just like Saint Paul, I don't think women should be priests.
Yeah.
If women have a calling from God, they should be a nun. And I think Sarah Mulligan is going to do a lot to.
Well, no,
is it Sarah Mulligan?
Well, hold on. No, it isn't like, didn't God literally say like women will be saved by childbirth? So like, being
I
a
don't
nun
know.
is like going against that. Like that's
no,
not what
no.
he said in Genesis.
No, okay, so look, not everybody is called to be a father or a mother, and people that are childless can still serve God, and that's
Okay, fair
why.
enough.
That's why in the church, priests take a vow of chastity, as do monks, and nuns also take a vow of chastity, and very often they take a vow of poverty, because monks and I think it's called holy orders. Monks and nuns are a holy order. So the poverty is like, look, your possessions, you don't need them now. You are reliant on the faith, hope, and charity which you will administer to others.
Or if you've got Arnold Rimmer's mum and dad's Bible, faith, hope, and charity.
They were very, very literalists, and sometimes literalism is like, it's not that useful. Like, I'll tell you, you know what? I'll go and I'll go back to another thing. Right, my uncle was saying, "Hey, did you know in Leviticus it says insects have 4 legs?" And then I looked it up, and it's like, actually, yeah, it does. You see, so I'll use the New International Version, because I think that's, it's not the best version. It's the one I grew up with. So Leviticus chapter 11, verse 20 to 23. All flying insects that walk on all fours are to be regarded as unclean by you. There are, however, some flying insects that you may eat. Those that have jointed legs for hopping on the ground, so like locusts and crickets.
Yeah.
Of these, is a locust a cricket that's gone into savage mode? Because there's like, they change colour and they swarm.
Crickets. They're very similar, aren't they?
Well, I think there's a bit when like the crickets swarm and then they become locusts. So of these you may eat any kind of locust, katydid, cricket, or grasshopper. Don't know what a katydid is, but of other flying insects that have 4 legs, you are to regard as unclean. Now you see, I looked at that. And if you want it in Douay Rheims, it says the same thing. Of things that fly, whatsoever goeth upon 4 feet shall be abominable to you. But you see,
right,
now,
do you want to know the difference between crickets and locusts?
Yeah, go on.
Physical appearance. Crickets have very long thread-like antennae, whereas locusts have a short, stout antennae. Body shape. Crickets typically have a flatter, more rounded body, while locusts have a more cylindrical shape. And colour, crickets are often dull browns or blacks for camouflage. Locusts, in their swarming phase, can exhibit a striking black and red, yellow and red markings.
Oh, red. Okay, that's green. So
swarming. The most critical distinction is phase polytheism. Locusts can shift from a solitary to a highly social, gregarious state, forming massive destructive swarms. Crickets do not possess this ability and remain generally solitary or form only small, disorganised groups. Crickets are omnivorous, eating decaying matter of fungi and other insects. Locusts are voracious herbivores that consume vast quantities of fresh green vegetation. And sound, crickets chirp by rubbing their wings together. Locusts produce a buzzing sound and detect sound via ears on their abdomen. Crickets detect sound on their front legs. So crickets, they're not like rogue locusts.
No, no. Well, see, the thing is, right? I I think to myself that this passage in Leviticus, like they're not being dumb, right? They're not just like, oh, we've never looked at an insect before. They've only got 4 legs. They're not doing that thing Plato did, where it's like, well, it walks on 2 legs and it's featherless, therefore it's man.
Yeah.
There was Diogenes used to argue with these other philosophers, and one way he'd argue with them was masturbating in their symposium, and it was to make some sort of statement, but I think he was just a bit of a pervert.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you see, the thing is, it's like
maybe it was Owlman, Hobbit. You don't know.
Yeah.
I think Zalman.
Owlman from last week, from the Appalachia.
Do you remember the Owlman?
Oh,
the Owlman.
oh,
He has big
yeah.
long legs.
Yeah, so, yeah. I'm sorry,
masturbating in the tree.
my hearing's going as well. It's not just my eyesight.
Masturbating in the tree. We must have missed that.
Welcome to getting old and fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So you see, I reckon this phrase means like, well, when you say someone walks on all fours, like if the baby's crawling on all fours,
Well,
we're
do
not
you
saying
remember the Sphinx's riddle? What walks on 4 legs in the morning,
man.
2 in noon, two at noon, and 3 in the evening.
Yeah, it's man throughout his life.
Yeah.
I mean, when we say a baby's crawling on all fours, we're not saying it's a quadruped.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like but on all fours, because that's the other distinction. It's like, well, look, with a cricket or locust, they've got 4 legs, and then they got the 2 hopping legs.
Yeah.
So it's not like the texts make a scientific claim like insects possess exactly 4 legs. It's using everyday observational language. This is Grok speaking now. Observational language for dietary rules. Most small flying crawlers are unclean. The hopping ones with prominent jumping legs are clean.
Yeah, because people eat crickets and cricket flour, don't they?
Oh,
You say they do, but yeah.
Not knowing.
Yeah. You see, and the other bit which my uncle thinks is very funny is the story of cursing the fig tree. Now, I didn't know this, so did you know that fig trees put out fruits before they put out leaves?
No.
I didn't know that. That was a new thing I learned today. So, in the Book of Mark,
you were
which is
years old when you found.
Yes, I was one day old when I found.
To use some Reddit speak, I was today years old.
I have found with fig trees, they are mysterious, and I haven't wanted to study them because I think figs are delicious, by the way. It took me a long time to get over how they reproduce. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Plant.
That's how eels reproduce. That's scary.
I don't want to know about that. Sometimes I don't want to know how the sausage is made, Fraser.
Yeah, because eels don't actually have any reproductive organs, so.
Lovely. Right, so I used the no, I didn't.
Asexual.
Did you know rats don't have bladders? That's why they piss all over everything.
I thought the female rats don't have bladders, but the male rats do have bladders.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's strange. So in Mark, it says Jesus curses the tree one day, and the next morning the disciples see it withered from the roots. Jesus then teaches about faith and prayer.
The Muslims love that one, don't they? Jesus did this.
Do you want the allegorical meaning?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just a random act of frustration. Fig trees in that region typically produce fruit before or along with leaves. So a leafy tree in season that had no fruit symbolised false appearance, looking good on the outside but barren inside. Many interpreters see it as an acted parable pointing to the nation of Israel or the temple religious leaders at the time, outwardly religious and flourishing in appearance but lacking true spiritual fruit. A warning about hypocrisy and judgment on those who fail to produce genuine fruit in response to God. Now, I find that really interesting.
Well, that's
because
also that kind of relates to the verse. You shall know them by their fruits.
Yeah, Yeah. That. Oh well, we shouldn't mention that because that's an anti-Semitic canard.
Is it by your fruits you shall know them, isn't it? Is the proper
Well, you
Mm.
see, the bit with this, and I would love to have my Eastern Orthodox historical researcher here because he'd be a good one to ask on his opinion on it.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bit in the second book of Corinthians which it turns out St. Paul had exactly the same thoughts I had, which is about the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law.
Yeah.
So in 2 Corinthians 3:6, it says, the letter kills, but the spirit gives life. Now, Jesus in Matthew 23, he says this, strong, right in the middle of his strong words against the Pharisees. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin. Those are good spices. But you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. And you see, the thing is, right, there's a lot of people. And I had this like yesterday. I joined like a thing, and I was this.
Michael Schumacher being the embodiment of this. Like when he used to
Really?
race, he used to play to the rule, to the limit of the law, didn't he? Not the spirit. Of it.
How much of that is Michael Schumacher, and how much of that was Ferrari? Because Ferrari would do like things, and then like
little column A, little column B, I'd say.
and then like the next year, like the Formula, I forget what the governing body, the FIA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would say, "Oh, that little trick that Ferrari figured out last season, yeah, you can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
And then all the other teams they copy that trick and like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Ferrari!"
Yeah.
That was actually, and they're doing all these things like launch control and all the other stuff, and it's just, it's very much like. But the thing is, right, there's a lot of people, and I think this is a problem online, and I really wish these people would go to mass because they talk so much about how pious they are. Okay, if you're not Catholic, when I'm saying mass, I'm saying you should go to church for your Sunday service. But because I'm Catholic,
Other branches of Christianity are available.
yes, but they really shouldn't be. so it's Jesus set up one church. He didn't say, "Look, I want Pastor Bob to make 40,000 denominations of Protestantism."
Well, when I say other denominations are available, obviously not the American ones. I'm not counting.
No. I'm just gonna do what is it? The Budweiser.
Mormons.
Yeah.
Look at the comment. That's not Christian. No, I'm going to do. Is it the Budweiser commercial that says "accept no substitutes" when it's a derivative of the Czech lager?
Did you read that? What he said? That's my relative,
What?
Auntie Semi-Teak Canard.
Oh, that's your auntie. Yeah, your auntie Semiti. Yeah.
Auntie Samiti,
Semi-Teak
yeah.
Canard. I'll take it you didn't get that the first time you wrote.
Is that Ms. Canard?
Yeah.
Was she a divorcee?
Auntie Semi-Teak. Yeah.
But I will say, right, there's a lot of people online, and they're very pious, and they're very knowledgeable about these things, and I think it's great because I'll tell you what happened actually once. I asked, and he blocked me, and I was upset by this because
I found that passage I really liked, where when it was about the guy who was driving out spirits in Jesus' name. And they all go, Jesus, he's not one of us. Jesus
says, like, yes, he is.
He may not. Well, he didn't quite say that, but he did say like he may not be one of us, but he's not going to speak against us. Like, which means he's not an enemy.
If I remember the passage right, it's like a case of, look, he's working in my name.
Yeah.
He might not be one of us, but he is working in my name, and that's why it's working.
Yeah.
There's a story, I can't remember the name of the saint. He was sainted later on. It was this little boy, and he was seeing what the priests were doing with baptism, and then he'd say to his friends, "Come on, let's go to the beach, I'm going to baptize you." And eventually, the parents caught wind of this, and they were all concerned because they're like, "Oh, is he doing something blasphemous? He shouldn't be. He's not a priest. He's not allowed to baptize them." And then, so basically what happened is they told the local priest, and the local priest told the bishop, said, "Look, a boy in my parish is baptizing children, and the parents are concerned." And so the bishop, he summoned the child and says, No, he didn't summon the child. He summoned the children which were baptized. They
Oh,
said,
funny. What version do you want that Bible verse in?
what
Let's
Bible?
let's do King James.
Yeah,
And
do
John
King
answered
James.
and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and we forbade him, because he followeth not with us. And Jesus said unto him, Forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us. And it came to pass, when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and send messengers before his face. And they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans, to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elias did? But he turned and rebuked them, and said, Ye not know what manner of spirit ye are of. I don't quite get what that means. What's the easier one to understand? Is it the Message?
I mean, yeah, the Message. I like the New International Version because it's like it's not.
Right, so the new international version is, Master, said John, we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him for it, because he is not one of us. Do not stop him, Jesus said, for whoever is not against you is for you. As the time approached for him to be taken up to heaven, Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem. Oh, so it's two things. So it's later on Jesus went to heaven. I thought it related to the bloke again, but it doesn't.
So it's basically saying, yeah, people can drive out demons that aren't the apostles.
Well, again, this is why I'm mentioning this saint whose name escapes me, and I'm hoping
this is why I don't like the race to be the goodest bestest Christian on the internet, because it's you're fighting against people who don't need to.
Well, I got two stories related to that. So I'll finish off this story about this saint whose name escapes me, and hopefully someone in the chat goes, "Oh, Hobbit, you're talking about Saint so and so." Now, the bishop, he interviews the children that have been baptized by these. He asks them, "Oh, what did he say in the rites?" And then eventually he gets this complete story from them, and then the bishop's completely satisfied. It's like, "Well, look, this child has done the rite correctly." So he did a special rite confirming that they were all baptized. And then I think he became a priest later on in life, because they say, look, you've been baptizing, this is something priests are supposed to do, but do you want to be a priest? And so the boy's like, yeah, I want to be a priest. It's like, okay, well, when you're older, you'll get you to seminary school and we'll make you a priest. And that was it. It was just, it's a lovely story, and he was canonized by the church for it. And the fact is, it's like, look, a lot of people, especially people online today, would say, oh, well, look, his hands weren't consecrated, therefore what he was doing was a heresy, because the priests do this thing.
You don't have apostolic succession.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, you're not allowed to do priestly stuff until a bishop lays his hands on you.
Yeah.
And that bishop, if you go back far enough, his hands were touched by Saint Peter, who in turn was touched by Jesus. And that's how apostolic succession works. But the fact is, the bishop said, look, everything here has been done right. I'm going to do this right to confirm all those baptisms. You're going to become a priest when you're older, so you can do this officially. And again, it's just a case of like with Jesus was saying, look, he's doing it in my name, therefore it's all right.
Yeah.
And I will tell you a story. It's a personal one myself, right? Now, I'm as you guys know, I'm very interested in this Christianity stuff because I think it's quite positive, right? And I was talking with an Eastern Orthodox, and I was saying, how do you make the sign of the cross? Because they do it differently. And it's like, because I make the sign of the cross, it's head, heart, shoulders. Or as we call it,
wallet and watch.
That's the one. There we go. Yep. And because
I do the testicles, do you? It's part, isn't it?
And the thing is, I wasn't taking the piss out of him. I wasn't like, oh, you're doing it wrong. I was like, I'm told that the Eastern Orthodox do it differently. Can you explain the story of that? Because I'd love to know, like, so here's the thing, right? I am told, no, this is Father Mike. He does the Bible in a Year podcast, and he says the sign of the cross, it's a complete prayer. It's the sum total of the Christian faith condensed into one action. You first you touch your head, and I can't remember what he says, but then it's to bless your thoughts, to make your thoughts about God. Then you touch your heart because you got to, of course, sanctify your heart so that the Lord's light can shine into it and make you more charitable. And then you cross your shoulders so that you've got the strength to bear your own cross in life, because we've all got crosses to bear.
Yeah.
And the Eastern Orthodox, they cross their shoulders, then they do the head and heart. And I find that very interesting. I don't say it's wrong, I just find it's interesting. And I'm a universalist in that I want the schism of the church to be healed. And I've done this petition numerous times, and I'll keep doing it until eventually, like the patriarchs in Greece and Rome, and not Greece and Rome, Greece and Moscow and all the other places say, yeah, come on, let's pray together. Which has been done like a few times, by the way. So I'm hopeful that.
Well, the Orthodox do have a lot of dialogue, don't they? Because they have dialogue with the CEV and they have dialogue with the Catholic Church, don't they? So they do.
Yeah,
they do
and
talk, but I think
the Eastern Orthodox have told off the CEV and said, look, Saint Paul. You know, you respect Saint Paul. You call him a hero of the church, because in the Church of England, all the saints go up until about the 1500s, and then they don't recognise any other saints after that. But they call them heroes of the church. So, like, for example, Saint John Henry Newman was an Anglican priest, went to the Oratory in Oxford, which I keep thinking is weird because it's like I've been past that building so many times. I didn't know how special it was. I've been inside, in fact. And he became a Catholic priest. Now, a lot of the stuff I like about the Anglican Church, a lot of the stuff you like about the Anglican Church, is thanks to the Reformation St. John Henry Newman did. He wanted there to be high mass and the smells and the bells, because I've actually been to a high mass in the Church of England where they had frankincense, which not everybody likes. I quite like it. I think frankincense is a lovely thing. And those three wise men from the East thought, well, a king's been born. We'll give him some frankincense and myrrh, because that's a thing a king has. That is a gift fit for a king. And I would like there to, well, it doesn't matter about that. That's not Fortean. My wish is for the church to be reconciled. But the Church of England will call St. John Henry Newman a hero of the church. And he is a hero. Saints are all heroic, but they won't call him a saint. So, because the Church of England doesn't recognise saints after the schism. Oh, dear. But yeah, I did find it very interesting about the doves, and I went on and I said some other stuff, because the dove attack, there was also a lightning strike, and I said, I thought I misremembered it. I said, was there was a conclave to elect Pope Francis, and was the St. Peter's Basilica struck twice by lightning? And I got snoped and said, actually, that's false. That didn't happen. What happened is when Pope Benedict resigned, the Vatican was struck twice by lightning. And look, we're not supposed to be superstitious. That's but I do believe in omens and portents, and I think it was
lightning doesn't strike twice, as we're told.
Yeah, and so when it does strike twice, this is God saying, "Look, I'm being unambiguous here. This is an error."
Yeah.
And I look, if there are any Catholics listening to me now, forgive me, right? At some point, I was attracted to sedevacantalism. That's a Italian phrase meaning that the throne is vacant. Because I thought, well, Pope Francis can't be a pope because Pope Benedict's still alive. And he might have said, I've resigned, but I'm sorry, you're still Pope. You can say I resign, or I don't want to do it anymore, or I'm feeling ill. It doesn't matter.
Then that stops you being Pope anymore.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, as far as I know, here's an example, right? Let's say you're unconscious, still a Pope. For example, John Paul II, when he was survived his assassination attempt, he was unconscious when they did the surgery to remove the bullet from his chest. He was still Pope. I mean, he was unconscious, but he's still the Pope. And yeah, that's another thing. If we're going to be really pedantic about it, it's just like, oh, Pope Francis is asleep right now. The throne of Saint Peter is vacant because he's in bed. It's like, no, he's still Pope. he's still Pope.
Yeah.
He's just in repose.
Right, shall we move this on to for matters more Fortean? Have you ever heard of the 1897 airships that invaded Texas?
Oh,
Wait,
yes,
what?
I've
Sorry?
heard of this. Yeah, I've heard of this.
So, more than 40 years before Orson Welles scared the bejabbers out of Americans, like they did use the word bejabbers, out of Americans with a fictional radio program on a Martian invasion of Earth, Texas was ravaged by reports of airships thought to be, in some cases, of extraterrestrial origin. Between April the 13th and 17th, 1897, there were 38 reported sightings of airships in 23 counties, mostly in north-central Texas. 9 counties reported multiple sightings, with Hill County accounting for 4, including 2 in Hillsborough and 1 in each Whitney and Osceola. Tarrant, Fannin, and Ellis counties had 3 each, and Grayson, Bowie, Collin, Hunt and Johnson counties had a pair apiece. Single sightings reported from Lamar, Wise, Denton, Hunt, Parker, Dallas, Kaufman, Wood, Erath, Navarro, McLennan, Freestone, Milam, Travis and Jefferson counties. Newspapers of the day reported the sightings straight-faced, although one can read more than the little tongue-in-cheek writing into some of the dispatches from community correspondents. Descriptions of the airships varied somewhat, but there was a general consensus that they had cigar-shaped bodies or cabins 50 to 60 feet long, with propellers at each end and large bat-like wings and huge floodlights fore and aft. Most witnesses saw neither pilot nor crew, but in some cases not only did observers see people manning the ships, but talk to them. Dallas Morning News correspondent Waxahachie reported a long conversation between Judge Love of the community and an airship crew which claimed to be from the North Pole, which I thought was interesting. North Pole. Hollow Earth.
Oh, well, or, you know. Something else, maybe?
Greenville.
Oh.
Go on then.
You know, they say they're airships. That's what they knew at the time. What if they were... Sorry, I'm going to use this term. What if they were wet-ass UAPs, which came from the sea, and they're lozenge shaped, and therefore they look like airships? Like you know, we did like a few months ago.
It's the language of the time. They're fitting it into their understanding, aren't they? Because they sound like cigars, don't they? The cigar, what they call the cigar spaceships, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's why I mentioned. Like, they're not extraterrestrials. They come from the deep.
Well, you know, what if they're not extraterrestrials, but terrestrials from a different plane?
Well, here's the thing. Like, most people don't get this, but, like, air travel was more common before the Wright brothers. You know that, right? With blimps. There were blimps before that.
Yeah. The Wright brothers...
Well, it's the Montgolfier brothers first, wasn't it? We did a musical at school about
the Empire State Buildings, like, literally has a dock for fucking airships, like, built into it. At the very top, like, that was meant to be an airship dock. So, you know,
right?
but this has been like memory hold. Like, people have like forgotten about, like, you know, the Hindenburg. Oh, we tried it once, that was it. But no, it was common.
The Montgolfier brothers started the first
blimps were common before then.
When did they fly Hobbit? The Montgolfier brothers.
I don't know about the Montgolfier brothers. That is new to me.
We did a musical about it at school.
Really? Oh, do you know what they did as a musical at my school? And my girlfriend at the time invited me into it, and I was just like, okay, I don't. Tin Pan Alley.
I mean, this all goes back into the why all the old.
So the Montgolfier brothers, Joseph Michel Montgolfier and Jacques Etienne Montgolfier, were aviation pioneers, balloonists and paper manufacturers, blah, blah, blah. So basically they started hot air ballooning around 1782 to 84.
Uh-huh.
And this was 1897, was it? Did I say?
Yep.
So, it's been around for 100 years at this point.
Yep. And this goes into the whole white vanilla skies. I'm sure we talked about this before.
Vanilla Sky?
Yes.
Tom
Why
Cruise
old
films.
photographs? Why the old photographs in these have vanilla?
Oh, the sepia
vanilla
toned.
skies? Yes. Why they've been whited out. It looks like.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Yeah, it's strange because not only did we have airships, but there was also vacuum tubes. Like in Futurama, where people are zipping around on vacuum
They wanted
tubes.
to bring them back at some point and maybe have passengers on it. They wanted to do it. Yeah, they wanted to do it all over.
Elon Musk was talking about transatlantic vacuum tubes because the thing is, right? One of the main barriers to make things go fast is friction, and in the air, with the Concorde, it would heat up so much the wings would expand during the air, and it actually got very hot. And there's fun cooling systems in planes, which is very interesting, but it's not Fortean, it's engineering. There was engineering, and the thing is, I even remember a very mundane version of it when I was working in the supermarket more than 20 years ago now, and we were told, oh, you can't have more than 250 quid in the till. And I thought, oh, well, that's great. If I get a run of people asking for cash back, I'm going to run out of money. And that did happen a few times, but I just, agreed with the supervisor. But anyway, point being, okay, you put the money in and you write a note about how many notes you put in and you put it into this tube, and then you'd open up this flap. And when you did, a vacuum cleaner, because it was just the motor from a vacuum cleaner, would turn on and you'd hear it sort of zip past the ceiling and then it would land in the safe.
Yeah. We still had it. Even when I was my job, last job I had, they had a vacuum tube thing in their office. And
that pioneer of Victorian engineering, Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
Yeah.
He was working on vacuum tube passenger trains. And now, unfortunately, rubber and plastics wasn't really a thing back then. So you'd probably use rubber nitrile O-rings. He was using leather with tar around it in order to make a O-ring seal. And it did work. The problem is rats really like tar-soaked leather, so they keep chewing on it and it lose vacuum seal. Yeah. So, good idea.
It's like people think today, electric cars are this new thing. No, 1800s.
Tesla wanted to build the electric cars,
exactly.
didn't he? That were powered from the Tesla towers, weren't they?
In the 1920s, and this was before.
He didn't want to. He did build one as a test thing, and it worked.
So in the 1920s, Tesla had an electric motor vehicle. It was recorded.
Were they called the Warden Towers?
Well, the Wardenclyffe Tower was the big one which got sabotaged, but they're called Tesla Towers. Now, the thing is, it's you can pump electricity into them and make all the sparks come out, but they can also be run in reverse, where they use an etheric tap. And, I remember, do you remember years ago we did that episode and my granddad sort of adamantly telling me, when I went to school, they told us there's no such thing as ether. And I was like, do they spend a lot of time teaching you things that don't exist, Granddad?
Mm-hmm.
But he was just well, the thing is, I think this was during the 90s, and cold fusion with cavitating bubbles was a thing. And my granddad was saying, it's all bullshit. And actually, it turned out it's not bullshit. But Geoffroy de Epstein.
What new is old? Yeah.
The funny thing is, funny enough, Geoffroy de Epstein had a word with Justine Maxwell, who then talked to Robert Maxwell, who was in control of the Pergamon press and therefore was doing all these peer-reviewed papers. And he basically blacklisted all the cold fusion research, saying, it's bullshit, it can't be replicated, it's not true, definitely doesn't work, just stop doing this, guy. And then we're like, cold fusion doesn't exist, we're definitely not doing that. So, bit of a shame, really. But why was I mentioning cold fusion?
Do you know what the experiment that finally disproved the ether, Hobbit?
No. Was there an experiment to disprove? I didn't know.
No, there wasn't one because it failed.
Anyway, back to the airships, because we've got quite far away
airships,
from them.
yes. Airships.
At Greenville, correspondent C.G. Williams reported the leader of the ship's crew was from a little town in the interior of New York. The airship was being test flown across country. Its inventor implored Williams, "Don't give this thing away. We're experimenting with this vessel. So far, it's a success." A report from Waxahachie held the machine was being operated by a woman, and the observer thought his satanic majesty or Beelzebub had something to do with this traveller in the lower stratum of ether.
Oh, what's that then?
Yeah.
Can't have that. We're not allowed that.
In Farmersville, an eyewitness saw 3 men in the cabin and heard them singing "Nearer, My God, to Thee." The trio also, do you know that hymn, Hobbit?
Yeah.
It's a good hymn, isn't it?
Is it?
It's nice.
Yeah. The trio
Nearer, My God,
reportedly
to
also was
Thee.
passing out temperance tracts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. As might be expected, not all North Texans were convinced of the authenticity of the report. In Ennis, Dr. E. Stewart, an acknowledged authority in metaphysics, passed off the reported sighting as due to hypnotism and bad whiskey. Wow, he's really researched that one out, hasn't he?
Bad whiskey.
When questioned about the feasibility of manned flight, one aeronautical authority in Dallas was asked if he had seen the ship. I have not, he asserted. "I don't drink, and I never come downtown after dark." There was speculation from several sources that the sightings were the first in a series of events heralding the final days of Earth as prophesied in the Bible. Of course, Texans always have to one-up each other, and the airship craze provided a perfect setting. In Hill County, 2 farmers near Abbott did not see an airship, but they did witness a man and 6 boys float out of the sky. They drifted down as easily and gracefully as birds, alighting until within a few feet of the ground and about 50 yards from us, where they remained stationary a few seconds and reascended into the heavens out of sight, came the report. And then on April 19th, S.E. Hayden, a correspondent in the news, reported that an airship had struck a windmill in Aurora in Wise County and exploded. The body of a small man identified by a local authority as a Martian was recovered from the wreckage and buried. Pieces of the ship were collected for display and sale, attracted many spectators. The Aurora incident, labelled as a hoax by 20th century historians, is the most celebrated of the encounters. With airships in Texas, researchers of unidentified flying objects, see that's what they are, unidentified flying objects, have spent a great deal of time attempting to verify the presence of the airship, to find remains of the craft, and to locate the body of the supposedly alien pilot. In 1986, a not-too-good movie, The Aurora Encounter, was made, and the following year, science fiction writer Howard Waldrop produced a short story in Omni magazine about a fictional landing of Martian airships in Texas prior to the Spanish-American War of 1898. Comments?
Well, I mean, 1898 was MX in Spanish. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
So, about a week after the latest sighting in north-central Texas, a group of churchgoers in Merkel, just west of Abilene, saw an airship drop an anchor that caught a railroad tie. After a few minutes, a small being clambered down the rope, cut the line, and the airship sailed off, never to be seen again. The Merkel Mail ran a story on it, but the Taylor County News in nearby Abilene ignored it. Many explanations have given for the rush of airship sightings. One holds that it was a great hoax perpetrated by railroad men who planted reports of sightings at various stops. Indeed, the truthful Scully of Fort Worth, a railroad conductor, gave a vivid report of a grounded airship being repaired by a small man near Hawkins Tank in Wood County. Or it may have been a form of spring madness that gripped north-central Texas along with much of the Midwest. Or it could have been an invasion from outer space. Do you notice they never say it could be an invasion from inner space?
Well, again, what... do you know, some...
everyone at that point had been believing in the heliocentric model for centuries at that point, right?
Even with a heliocentric model, there can still be terrors from the deep. We don't know what lurks down there.
No, true.
It's funny
true,
how they
but...
said they were from the North Pole, or they were maybe they were bullshitting or something. But it's funny how like someone was singing hymns and handing out temperance leaflets, which is kind of odd behaviour.
I've heard of one of these encounters. Like, I don't know if it's in the Texas thing, but it was in like one of the states. They literally came down, like parked his fucking airship next to these people and took them for a ride, and then like brought them back. Like, there was some guy with a cigar or something. Like, that's all I remember from one of these like encounters with one of these things.
When Betty and Barney Hill picked up by a cigar.
No, he was smoking a cigar. Like, he was actually smoking a cigar.
I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about I think they were picked up by a cigar.
I don't know.
What else we got?
I think that's another one. It was in one of the northern states. There
was an airship flap in California as well. So that's November 17th through December 1896.
It's all around the same time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. And then there's that Spanish War.
Yeah. In 18...
Wars are a great thing to cover things up. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got? So we got California. So you've got Omaha.
Yeah.
Arkansas, Hobbit's favourite state.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
It might have been Oklahoma.
Texas. Actually. Rocky Mountain News. This is 96 to 97.
Did you say Arkansas?
Yeah. I said Hobbit's favourite state.
Yeah.
I always have struggled with Greek names, George.
Our new favourite clip.
It is useful considering how often we refer to it.
Chicago. We've got sightings in Chicago. We've got Missouri. Literally all over.
Yes.
Oh, how about this one? That's Aurora. We've already read about Aurora. Other mystery airships. So 1909 had a wave of airships. By this time, airship technology had greatly advanced, and several successfully powered airships, including Zeppelins, had been built and flown. So this is 1909. This is in April 1909. A brief airship scare struck Britain, possibly motivated by public fears about German Zeppelin developments. This was followed by airship waves because not a lot of people ever talk about this, but during World War One, the Germans were bombing England with airships.
Yeah, it was Zeppelins. Yeah.
Which to me seems ridiculous because surely some anti-air flak
The main thing was it was highly inaccurate was the main thing about it.
Yeah, but I think in World War One they had anti-air flak, and it's like even if they didn't have anti-air flak, like surely
wouldn't a good sniper be able to put? I mean,
I was saying,
you haven't got to do a lot of damage to one. You've only got to rip.
It's not a fucking party balloon where one hole will fucking deflate the thing.
They have numerous.
Yeah. Basically, like airbags. They're separated by like airbags.
Yeah, don't forget this is the start of Zeppelins, though, isn't it? So they probably weren't.
Yeah.
Well, no. The thing is, I think even like Zeppelins have always been you make a sphere of hydrogen, and then they put numerous spheres together to make a sausage shape, and then they put smaller spheres in between them, so it's not just one hollow cavity. Here's a video clip. It's not just happened once. You know that statue of Jesus that survived the fires? Well, there's two. There's
here you go. So Zeppelin construction refers to the manufacturing of rigid airships characterised by a lightweight duralumin. You ever heard of duralumin?
Duralumin is a alloy of aluminium containing copper. It's tougher than just aluminium on its own.
So it's a lightweight duralumin skeleton.
Oh wait, how is aluminium pronounced?
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah, duralumin.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
No, it's aluminium.
Yeah.
Aluminium.
Skeleton made of transverse rings and longitudinal girders covered by fabric and containing multiple internal gas cells filled with hydrogen.
There we go. Told you. There we go. Yeah. So what? Like, yeah, taking a shot with a sniper wouldn't do nothing to it. You need to like pop all the bloody sacks, basically, or well, a majority of them for down the thing.
So where were we? So the next...
I've just listened to a proper IUPAC pronunciation for aluminium.
Yeah.
And hang on. Aluminium.
Yeah.
Aluminium. Aluminium.
So this was followed...
I did pronounce it correctly. You're all gaslighting me. I can pronounce some words right.
This was followed by airship waves in New Zealand, so New Zealand had some as well. Starting in May 1909 and Australia in August 1909. Starting in November 1909, a series of mystery airship sightings reported around New England were likely triggered by a hoax by Wallace Tillinghast. Well, it's obviously always that.
Do you know something I remember about the Zeppelin, which I found remarkable? They have smoking lounges in there, and they had the special Zeppelin lighter, which was an electric lighter. I think what it was a bit like the fag lighters we get in... Sorry, if you've got a Jaguar, it's not called a fag lighter, it's called the cigar lighter. But,
it's one of the press things, and it heats up, and then you.
So the difference.
Here you go, Fraser. This goes to what you were saying. Some authors have argued that the mystery airship reports were genuine accounts of functional man-made airships. Steerable airships have been publicly flown in the US since the Aerion in 1863. So they'd been going for 30 years. At this point.
But it's like memory hold, and people think, oh no, we didn't have that technology until the Hindenburg crashed and burned, and that was it. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's like the electric car and fucking everything else. It's been memory hold, like.
Oh, did you know in November 1897 the aluminium-skinned airship designed by David Schwartz was built in Germany and successfully flew over Tempelhof Field?
Oh.
Yeah, as I say, wars are very good for resetting narratives. So. Yes. Maybe the First World War wasn't about some Serbian guy getting assassinated.
In 1909, a letter printed in the Otago Daily Times, New Zealand, suggested that the mystery airship sightings have been reported in that country were due to Martian atomic-powered spaceships. But don't forget, though, I mean, people are talking in their frame of reference, so they're saying airships, but they might actually mean the classic cigar-shaped UFO.
Potentially. But then, like, I don't know.
But they're saying it's an airship because that's the closest word to it, because they wouldn't know what a UFO was, would they?
Yeah, I mean, these things, like the US Navy has shown, like, I say recently declassified footage from a few years ago. They're lozenge-shaped ships, and I'd say somebody from the turn of the century... Yeah, that's it, a lozenge. Yeah. They would say, that's an airship. They'd be right to. It does look a bit like a Zeppelin.
Cigar UFO sightings. I'll do this, and then we'll probably wrap up. So, US border sightings. In 2020, former US Customs and Border Protection agent Bob Thompson revealed footage of a cylindrical object dubbed the Cigar flying at high speed near the Arizona border with no visible wings, propellers or heat trail. UK sightings report include a 1977 incident in Broadhaven, Wales, where schoolboys saw a silver bus-sized cigar-shaped object with a red pulsating glow, and a 2023 sighting in Mansfield of a colour-changing craft. Recent viral videos to a 2021 video captured a bright elongated object moving rapidly past the ISS, while a 2019 video showed a similar object hovering near in Las Vegas airport. In 2022, an incident in Santiago, Chile involved a flashing cigar-shaped object hovering for 2 hours. But obviously, most scientists attribute these sightings to misidentified natural or man-made objects. Common explanations include space debris, balloons, aerosols, or atmospheric phenomena like sunlight reflecting off of objects.
Sunlight reflecting over Over swamps through Venus. Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
That's It's just
It's just a Fata Morgana.
Morgana. Yeah.
So
It's just a sunlight reference.
That's us done for another. Any final thoughts on UFOs from you two?
They come from the deep, and you should check out XCOM Terror from the Deep. Or Xenonauts 2, which I think is on sale at the moment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good game, by the way.
Yeah.
You got a new YouTube channel. You got a new YouTube channel, have you? I love the electric lighters they had in the smoking lounge.
Yes.
I've never seen you come up as Fremen on the Sand 3896, unless that's because I'm looking you in the room.
No, that's what my name comes up on the YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Everybody's name's got numbers next to them now, and I think. Do you remember when people would claim to be somebody else on the thing?
Oh, right, yeah.
They'd say defamatory things. This way, they'll be like, "Well, if there's someone who's Fremen on the Sand, but it's not 3896, it's someone else."
Interdimensional Lizard says the moon buggy from the Apollo missions was an electric car.
Yeah.
Interdimensional Lizard also says bring back airships.
Oh, he says YouTube doesn't show normal channel names in the chat anymore. It's the @handle, which is it makes it more precise to stop people claiming to be somebody else. Yeah. The reason I mentioned about the lighters in the smoking lounge of the Zeppelin is I think they were worried about sparks, so they would have a fag lighter you'd see in a car, which just heats up a coil of stuff. I think they had a heating up wand, so if you smoked a pipe, you could put the hot wand in the pipe.
In manuals, they're always referred to as cigar lighters.
Yeah, because I noticed in my Jag it was called a cigar lighter.
Yeah,
it's
they're always referred to in manuals as cigar lighters.
It's come on, mate. If I put into eBay fag lighter socket, I know what I'm going to get in there.
I don't know. You cook up with anything these days.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to type in eBay right now.
Fag
lighter socket.
Yeah.
Fag lighter socket. And the first thing that's come up is CL1002 illuminated replacement car cigarette fag lighter socket and element, £5. Brilliant. Do you know? I got to say, I know we're finishing up, right? One of the best mods I saw for a case. It was, the 5.5-inch blanking plate.
Yeah.
It's made out of aluminium and it's got a fag lighter.
I bought mine from Maplin's, I think.
Have you got a fag lighter socket for a 5.5-inch blanking plate? Yeah. And because the thing is, they run on 12 volts and computers give out 12 volts.
Yeah.
I think it uses 10 amps.
They're probably better for you because they're more consistent, aren't they? Car power is.
Well, yeah, I mean, cars will be not 14 volts when they're running. But the thing is, all it is a bit of resistive nichrome wire. So, I mean, 14 volts, 12 volts, doesn't matter. But it says here for 12 volt car use only. I think it uses a 10 amp fuse.
Yeah.
So that's just, I mean, so 12 times 10, that's 120. So as long as your power supply can deliver more 120 watts on the 12 volt rail, it will be fine. Yeah.
Right, anyway, that's us done.
Yeah.
Fortean current calculations. Woo!
Yeah,
don't blow up your computer with fag lighters.
Yeah. And we're in England, so we can say fag.
Fag means cigarette.
Yeah. Faggot means meatballs.
I do like faggots.
Yeah. Good evening all, and stay spooky and keep watching the skies.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me.
Oh no, Hobbit, you haven't done your bit about it's a small thing for us.
Oh yeah, give us a like and subscribe, you bastard.
Because I'm being shadow banned or whatever. That's what you got to say. I'm being shadow banned and people are being unsubscribed.
The algorithm is denying us the likes and the shares, and other people should hear about Fortean words.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anyway. We're the next Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
No.
I was just about to talk about your local butcher's, Hemi, so thanks for reminding me it's still on air.